Hey guys, what's up? New build video from me, Gaming and Gear. So this is going to be a Hackintosh build video for around $900, and this is going to be the kind of video that it's going to be the kind of Hackintosh for people who use Macs for video editing and for software that really requires, 4 cores with hyper-threading, oodles and oodles of RAM, and stuff like that, and high-performance I/O beyond USB 3. We'll get to that later. So the first part for this build is going to be the Intel Core i7-3770K. Great chip, nice and fast. 8 megs L3 cache, quad core with hyperthreading. It's from Intel, costs $290. And, it's a pretty nice chip. I have the 2600K in my machine. It'll overclock pretty good if you feel like doing that stuff and maybe buying an aftermarket heatsink. So, for the motherboard, we're going to be using a Gigabyte GA Z77X-UP4TH. Nice Z77 board. It's a little costly, has full DIMMs, supports for SLI and Crossfire X if you want to do that on the Windows side. So it comes with HDMI and VGA and DVI out, in case you want to use the onboard audio. 6 USB 3.0 ports, gigabit LAN, nice audio, and dual Thunderbolt, so you can use high performance I/O for monitors or daisy chaining hard drives, stuff like that. So for the RAM, we're going to be using a G.Skill Aris series, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's DDR3 RAM, of course, 1600 megahertz, nice and fast, not nice and fan. Has a nice little low-profile heatsink in there, so it won't interfere with any large heatsink you install yourself. 16 gigabytes is going to be more than plenty for video editing and stuff like that. If you want to go really overboard, you can buy 32 gigs of EEC RAM for a crap ton more. So the graphics card, we don't really need a graphics card in this, but I chose an NVIDIA one first off, because if you use CUDA enabled in your application, that'll help with like video editing and rendering and stuff like that. So I chose the MSI N640 GT. So this is a 640 GT from NVIDIA. It has 384 CUDA cores, 1 gig of DDR3 memory, nice and fast. Mountain Lion adds support for the 600 series natively, so you're going to need to upgrade to that, but we'll get more of that in a minute. So, for the case and or power supply, we're going to be using a Clonemaster TC102 mid-tower case with a 500 watt power supply. Nice amount of power, nice case, not too shabby looking. It's going to be nice and big for anything you want to throw in there. So, great case. Just to know, it doesn't have a PCI connector, so no graphics card that's massive, but, the 640 GT doesn't need it, so that's great. For the SSD, because, you're going to need high-performance storage, and not going to be installing a ton of games on this because it's a Mac. We're going to be using a SanDisk Extreme SSD, 240 gigabyte version. Amazon had the best deal for this, actually, because Newegg's was, I think, 10 or 15 bucks more expensive. For 180 bucks, you're going to get lots and lots of storage, very fast. It's kind of a plain Jane sort of SSD, not like Vertex 4 special Indelix fast, but it's still going to be a nice and fast SSD. So for the Samsung DVD burner, we're going to be using a Samsung DVD burner. Wow, I've gotten so used to saying that, I just say it as the category. Now for the optical disc, we're going to be using a Samsung one. Some people have said that Sony works better with Mac, but I don't really see the difference. It's an optical drive. It doesn't have any software on it. You plug it in and it works. All of them are like that, unless they're Blu-ray drives, which then you need a software for that. So the OS is where it gets kind of interesting for this. Now, because Mac actually Apple stopped letting you download and buy Mac OS X 10.6 and then upgrading it to the latest version for like 20 bucks or something like that, you're gonna have to download it from CNET, which is not as bad as it seems. So I tried downloading it myself, works great. They download 10.74, so my recommendation if you actually build this computer is that you boot off of the actual internal graphics first, and then you update it to Mountain Lion, and then you plug in the 640 GT, because it won't work natively elsewise. So the total for this build is going to be around 900 bucks, so nice and cheap, nice and fast, nice overall. So thanks for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time, and have a nice day.